Remember this kid nicknamed Slim Jesus?
Alive, and now McHoney gets it. Look out! Muurinen! You knew that was coming.
The same 18-year-old projected as a 2027 top 10 NBA pick who shocked everyone by skipping the normal path and going to play in Serbia. Well, 5 months later, that bold career move is starting to look like a huge mistake. Instead of becoming Europe's next breakout prospect, Miikka Muurinen has basically been rotting on the bench. And the reason why isn't just about him, it's about one of the biggest internal collapses we've seen inside a European team. Let me explain. If you watched my previous 2 videos on Muurinen, you know how fast his rise happened. A skinny 6'11" Finnish kid blows up at the EuroBasket with his fast break dunks, blocks against grown men, and clutch threes in Nikola Jokic's face. Suddenly, Slim Jesus became one of the biggest stories of the tournament. Scouts started talking lottery upside, while social media just went crazy. And instead of finishing high school in the US and heading to the NCAA like every other 5-star recruit, he took a completely different path. He signed with Partizan Belgrade, a EuroLeague powerhouse with one of the most intense basketball environments in the world. At 18 years old, he basically skips the entire safety net and jumps straight into professional European basketball. Not many who weren't named Luka Doncic have survived that. And at the time, it felt bold, risky, but definitely exciting. Like someone in the comments said, he was chasing that "I played in Serbia, brother" clip, but I saw it as accelerating his development on purpose. By the way, guys, if you don't want to miss out on these overseas perspectives on the NBA that you won't hear from American creators, make sure that you are subscribed to our channel. Now, in theory, the plan actually made sense. From Muurinen's side, this was supposed to be a 1-year crash course in high-level basketball. Practice every day against EuroLeague talent, earn minutes in the EuroLeague, and most importantly, learn under Željko Obradović, arguably the greatest coach in European history. Then head to college next season as a way more polished prospect. From Partizan's side, the expectations were huge too. This was a club running on a record-breaking budget, trying to compete at the top of Europe. Muurinen wasn't signed to play a significant role when it came to the EuroLeague, but the assumption was he would still have some type of a role, especially in the local EuroLeague, where Partizan usually dominates and has room to develop young players. Add the marketing buzz around Slim Jesus, the viral highlights, Partizan's fan base, and it felt like a win-win situation. And then the season started and everything fell apart almost immediately. Partizan opened the EuroLeague season looking shaky, but still salvageable. Then the losses kept piling up, and within weeks they were sitting at 4-9 near the bottom of the standings. But it wasn't just the record, it was how they were losing. Blowouts, bad body language, and questionable chemistry. The team looked disconnected, and you could feel frustration building every night. And the breaking point came when Željko Obradović, the coach Muurinen came to learn from, basically lost hope in the roster. After a brutal stretch, he resigned mid-season, stating he couldn't reach the players anymore. For a coach with 9 EuroLeague titles to walk away like that tells you how broken things were inside the locker room. And what followed next was absolute chaos. The legendary coach was welcomed by thousands of fans after landing in Belgrade's airport after a road trip. Ultimately, he stuck to his decision to resign, and that's when the fans turned on the team's management and started protesting outside the arena. Later on, players were getting booed by their own crowd at the home game. Instead of stabilizing the situation, Partizan doubled down and hired Joan Peñarroya, a coach with no experience outside of Spain and not exactly known as a tactical mastermind. The results didn't improve, key players disappeared from the rotation, and locker room drama kept leaking into the public. For example, former NBA second pick Jabari Parker started racking up DNPs and openly conflicting with the coaching staff. Their main center left the club mid-season after conflicts with the fans, and every week felt like a new headline. All of this is happening inside what was supposed to be one of Europe's most ambitious projects. And in the middle of that storm is an 18-year-old prospect who came here to develop. So what does all this chaos mean for him? Simply put, he's barely playing. We're 27 rounds into the EuroLeague season and he's appeared in just 6 games. He's averaging 1.8 minutes per game and and 0.2 points. Or to be more precise, he shot and missed a single three-pointer and made one free throw. That's it. Most of those minutes came in garbage time, and even in blowouts where Partizan was getting crushed by 30 or 40, there were nights where he still didn't step on the court. The EuroLeague was supposed to be his safety net, the competition where Partizan actually would develop him. But even there, his role is tiny. In 8 EuroLeague games, he's averaging 4.1 points, 2.9 rebounds, and 12 minutes on a team that's basically dominating the league with just one loss in 17 games. For a kid who arrived as EuroBasket's breakout star, this season has turned into just attending practices instead of getting development minutes. Before I get into the real reasons he's not playing, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Arena Club. I loved collecting sports cards as a kid in Lithuania, but they weren't exactly easy to get here. That's where Arena Club comes in clutch, because now I can buy these digital slab packs starting at just $25, and every pack has a real graded card inside. And before you buy, you essentially can see what you can pull out of it. Actually, let me just show you how it works. So first I gotta pick my slab pack. I'm gonna go for the Ruby basketball one. So you purchase it, and then this is the best part, the reveal. Let's open it up, let's see what I got. And oh baby, let's go, Michael Jordan. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, that's the best pull I could have expected. So as you can see next, I get an instant evaluation of the fair market value of this card. I can either accept the offer, sell it, and pull again, or I can decide later. So yeah, now I can just keep it in my showroom, I can get it sent to my home, or I can auction it or just sell it to the fair market value. They're also dropping specialty packs all the time. Grail only packs, team packs, Pokemon, basketball, other major sports, all of it. So if you're even slightly interested into collectible cards, check out Arena Club. You can get 20% off your first slab pack or card at arenaclub.com/OutsideTheNBA and use our code OutsideTheNBA. Now back to Slim Jesus. So why isn't Miikka Muurinen playing this season? The first thing you have to understand is how insane the jump from American high school basketball to the EuroLeague really is. This isn't just your regular adjustment. You're going from running up and down in the chaotic AAU scene where freelance offense is all that exists and everyone is just looking to make the next viral highlight, to the most tactical and detail-oriented league perhaps in the world. Honestly, I believe that the EuroLeague is way more tactics dependent and detail-oriented than the NBA and is much harder to adapt to for an 18-year-old. The games matter on a whole different level and possessions have much more weight. Every late defensive rotation, every poor decision on offense is highly scrutinized by the coach and you get benched immediately. I mean, there are grown men with NBA experience who come to Europe and struggle to adapt. And we're talking about a teenager who had some moments with his national team. And their coach Joan Peniroya has really been brutal towards him publicly. He didn't question Muurinen's potential, he actually questioned his readiness. When asked why Muurinen is not getting any playing time, he responded with, "He's currently not good enough to play in the team like ours." According to him, Miikka doesn't understand the tactical side yet, which is normal for someone his age, but not acceptable for a team fighting for wins every week. And then he went even further, suggesting Muurinen is mentally already thinking about returning to the US, which makes it hard for a coach to trust him in a win-now situation. Meanwhile, Lauri Markkanen had a much softer read on the situation. He basically said he didn't follow it too much, but of course it's gonna be hard. Any 18-year-old would struggle making this jump. He's not worried about Muurinen long-term, and he sees this as part of the process, and that contrast is actually important. The coach is speaking from inside a collapsing locker room under pressure. Lauri is looking at the same familiar kid from a distance and seeing a timeline measured in years, not months. And the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. On one hand, yeah, there is truth to what Peniroya is saying. Muurinen is raw and tactical mistakes in the EuroLeague aren't learning moments, they actually cost you games. Plus, you can't forget that this coach walked into one of the worst situations imaginable, replacing a legend that the fans rioted for. In that environment, trusting an 18-year-old project player is a luxury he feels he can't afford. But at the same time, there were nights where Partizan was getting blown out and Muurinen still didn't touch the floor. That's the part I can't wrap my head around. Development doesn't have to come at the cost of winning when the game is already decided. Give the kids some minutes and allow the opportunity for some of those highlights. In my eyes, the season in the EuroLeague can't be fixed anymore, so come on. Stop pretending you're competing for wins when you're getting blown out by 40 in some of these games. Anyways, where does this leave Slim Jesus? Honestly, it's not the tragedy that people are making it out to be. If anything, this might be the harshest but most valuable year of his career. He went from the highest of highs, dunking in the EuroBasket spotlight and becoming a viral sensation, straight into a roller coaster environment that must have humbled him. That psychological whiplash is brutal, but it's also real growth. A lot of prospects don't face real adversity until they reach the NBA, and he's getting it right now. Would dominating high school and AAU for another year look better on paper? Probably. But at the same time, it wouldn't have forced him to confront his weaknesses. Now, I'm very curious to hear what you think. Was going to Serbia a huge mistake by the Finnish prospect, or is it the best life lesson he could have gotten? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you like this video, make sure to give it a like, also hype it, and subscribe for more NBA takes through an overseas lens.